The new way to run Instagram ads for your clothing brand is here. And if you're like me, you're seeing a ton of people say that they make millions of dollars for their clothing brands all over YouTube and the internet, but never really back it up. And you get this weird feeling when you're watching that they may just be creating content for reactions and engagement, which is why I want to show you some real quick social proof so that you can lean in and grab a notebook for the best lesson on how to grow a clothing brand online. This is a brand, this is a brand, this is a brand, this is a brand, and oh, this is a brand that we have worked with. So give you some credibility so we can actually step into this and you know that we know what we're talking about. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact process that has generated over $120 million in sales for clothing brands just like you. What's working right now in the apparel industry and my proven process for creating high converting ads on Instagram. And yes, I will show you step by step how to set up your ads in the exact campaigns you need to be running, no matter if you are just starting out or spending thousands of dollars per day, but more on that later. Most ads can be fixed by making sure that you get the right message to the right person at the right time. You do this by using Meta's powerful ad data to get in front of the right audience, but this all starts with audience research and truly knowing who your audience is. If you don't know who you're going after, you can't target the right customer with your content. And everyone thinks you need to have interest targeting or lookalike audiences or some type of customer list to make sure that you hit the right people with your ad, which is not true. But what you really need is to know which stage of sophistication or awareness your product is actually in. Let me explain. So most of y'all are in the clothing brand space or the boutique world, and you live in one of these 4 to 5 stages. Stage 4 is referred to as the Cold War by Eugene Schwartz. Your competitors are on your heels and it's an all-out battle. And in fast fashion and the clothing brand space, people are going after your exact customer. You have to stand out. And yes, I promise this has to do with Instagram ads, and it's why you will win online. Because you watch several minutes into a video to find out the true secret. There is not a silver bullet, but there are a ton of golden BBs, and that is how you win. So in stage 4, you really need to highlight how your product is better with either a ton of social proof or reviews or both. You can also stand out by getting the product to the customers faster with a better price. The claims are you versus the competitor. So you've seen this us versus them type of content. This will work really well in your stage 4 type of advertising. And it puts your brand on a pedestal, but you need to make sure that you are not embellishing too much. That is stage 4, but I think stage 5 is where the magic and the money happen and where you need to get to. You start to bring a customer from the desire stage of wanting your product to identification. They typically do not buy into the fact that you have a great deal or offer as much as they do your big vision for why your company is better or why it exists. Think about Bombas giving 1 pair of socks or 1 pair of shorts, whatever it is, they give a 1-for-1 to somebody in need, like the homeless. Your customers could be at any single one of these stages, 1 through 5. So you need to make sure to create content for each stage so that you can meet them where they're at. However, I wanted to cut down the amount of work that you had to do for this type of video so that you can go and create content and ads faster and more efficiently, is that honestly, you're probably going to be in stage 4 or 5. There are 1, 2, 3 that I did not hit on here. There are plenty of other videos that I have created talking about the 5 levels of sophistication for your marketing. However, I don't think that they are as relevant for what you need to do with your ads at this stage. It does not mean you cannot go back to them because they are important. I'm just saying for this particular video. And if you want the exact ads that we have created to meet people at the different levels of market sophistication, just comment the word foreplay down below and we'll send you a link of all the different variations of where people are actually at on stages 1 through 5. Most people complicate their ad account setup and it completely ruins their approach to marketing their clothing brand. There does not need to be a system in place for your content, but just grabbing random content should not be the way that you make ads work for your brand. There does need to be an overarching system for the way that you think about growing your brand and a true process. So let's talk through the exact process and framework of creating a great ad before we build out one in Ads Manager, because that's what everybody goes to. They just show you how to build it, but they don't show you the nuts and bolts of why they're doing what they're doing. The first thing that we need to do though is define who our audience is, which we talked about in length right before this, so I won't go much deeper into that, okay? But that's the first one. Then we need to know what are our numbers to break even so that we know if we can actually scale. Do Instagram ads make sense for our business? Remember, those who can spend the most to acquire a customer will always win. Meaning, if you can spend $50 to acquire the customer unprofitably, but you know the lifetime value of your customer, you will beat everybody else who has to acquire the customer for $20. Those who can spend the most to acquire the customer will always win. And when you understand that, Instagram ads becomes easier. So what is working well for me organically? Ask yourself that question. If you're not creating content organically, you are hurting your chances of being better at ads. So Meta, Facebook, Instagram, all of that is owned by one company. WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, they also have, the metaverse and whatever else. It has billions of data points, and it may be worth it to know what content works well organically so that you can put that into your ads. And yes, even your TikToks can work for your ads. And honestly, a year or so ago, we really started teaching people to create good TikToks and then put them into ads, because if they do well organically, they're going to do well at a wider audience on ads. And honestly, if you haven't ran ads before and have not done anything organically yet either, I would start there first. I would stop this video and I would not run ads, because ads are not going to be your solution. I want to be truthful with you. Now, does that hurt our watch time for this YouTube video? 100%. But I want you to be successful, which means that if you go and you try to make these Instagram ads work for your brand and you've never done anything well organically, your chances of success are a lot lower. Get traction on organic, then put gasoline on a fire. You cannot create something from nothing. And it doesn't mean that you cannot make ads work. You can. You're probably going to say,
oh, but I'm that guy. I'm that girl who can make it work.
That's fine. But statistically, let's just figure out what works already organically and put money on that before you just go waste it. If you want to donate to something, I'll put a couple of causes in the description. Why don't you just go give money away to those causes, because that's what you're going to be doing. I'm just kidding. Maybe not. Build everything in a Google document before you do anything inside of Ads Manager. Okay, it doesn't have to be a Google Doc. I'm not paid by Google. It could be anywhere. You could do a notebook. You could grab your computer. It doesn't matter. Do this type of research before you ever touch Ads Manager. A big mistake people make is that they go directly to Ads Manager and start pushing buttons. And these people on the internet are really just frustrating to me, because they just say,
yeah, I created this cool video and just ran some ads behind it and boosted this post and I now make millions of dollars.
But there's really no track record. There's no proof. They just tell you how to push buttons inside of Ads Manager, which I will do. Don't worry. I'm going to show you which ones and the process behind it. But just going and willy-nilly doing it, you're never going to understand why it worked or why it didn't work. You've got to do your research. Build everything in a document, then copy and paste it over to your Ads Manager. It's way easier. It takes your head out of it, because you are literally focused on building a great brand and a business that's going to be created on really good ads, and you copy that information over. Your copy, your creative, all of that is into the actual Ads Manager afterwards, and so you take the guesswork out of it versus doing a misspelling or clicking the wrong button because you're not paying attention. Now, the next part is about checking results and adjusting your campaigns, but we'll get into that when I do the actual build out, and I'll tell you my thought process for when we should scale or not scale, because I'll show you some actual real numbers inside of here as well. All right, so hold up just 1 second. I wanted to say that if you are a clothing brand owner and want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow profitably online, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots, so go find a time now. Click on the link in the description down below. And a lot of people have been asking in the comments that you do not have to be established, you do not have to be brand new. It's literally for any clothing brand owner. This is for you. So if you want that, there are limited spots. Grab a link in the description down below. Now, if you're someone who has been boosting posts on Instagram, please stop. Let's do it the right way inside of Ads Manager. Follow me over and let me show you what you need to do instead. Okay, so we are over inside of Ads Manager. If this is your first time setting it up, go to business.facebook.com and prompt to create a business suite account that will get you to Ads Manager, set up your pixel, do everything like that. I'm not gonna show you those things in this video because they're a whole separate video. So let's assume at this point you already got into Ads Manager, and I'm gonna show you behind this. As you can see right here, we're spending about $1,000 per day on this account. This is the month of April of 2024, 947 purchases, $22 per purchase. To be fair, everybody who shows you inside of Ads Manager is not really the real number. I'll get into Triple probably in a second, which is server-side data tracking, which is truly the percentage of revenue that's generated from Facebook. For this example, we are very profitable and it does work, and so I will show you everything on the setup side of things. This is for Instagram ads. ads. A lot of people confuse Instagram and Facebook, and you can choose Instagram only as the placement. I would not suggest that. However, you can, and I'll show you how to do that as well. The campaign that we're gonna do, and I'm gonna create this, and then we're gonna go into one that's already existing so you can see some real data. So the setup's pretty simple, okay? So we're gonna go to sales, because you actually want sales. We're gonna hit continue. The biggest thing you want to do here for this one is you're going to do a manual sales campaign. I'm not really about doing Advantage Plus yet because, again, we're going to get into the types of campaigns that you should have, and don't worry, Advantage Plus is one of those campaigns. If you click this button, it's actually very simple. It will walk you through some very simple things and some minor changes to make. Manual is what we want to do for this time period. The reason why is because we are focused on reaching a very broad audience tailored to that customer through targeting that's done through our creative. So we're gonna label this however you would like. Again, we like to label this as either BB for bit branding or whatever it is, and then top of the funnel, DCT or dynamic creative testing, and that is the campaign. And then each ad set we will label based off of what we're going after or the specifics of the campaign or which tests we're doing. So it may be broad, that is new arrivals 13, and then the individual tests that we're doing is on the ad level. So completely up to you. If you do BB for bit branding, level of whatever you'd like to do, you're gonna go ahead and click here. You're gonna do the Advantage campaign budget, which means the budget's distributed across all of the different ad sets. Okay, we're gonna leave this. Okay, go ahead and click next. We are not doing website and shop right now. You can do that if you would like. The website and shop is now only, the shop is only gonna be checkout on Facebook or Instagram. So you can do that if you'd like. We've seen some people with results. We are not doing it yet. That may update, so continue to make sure you subscribe so you see what the latest things are going on. This is broad, which is based off of age, gender, and location. 25 to 35-year-old women who live in Texas or the United States or wherever it may be that you're going after. That's broad. It's a little bit more of an open strategy, so a large audience. We're gonna do dynamic creative. Make sure you turn this on. This is DCT, dynamic creative testing, that we are moving. I'll talk to you more about that in the ad level. You're gonna go ahead and scroll down here. If you wanted to adjust placements, you can do that. You can hit manual placements and you can just do Instagram. If you are focused on making this an Instagram only type of content, don't worry, you can. You can also turn these two things on and it just completely dramatically raises the amount of people that you can go after. I mean, it's like 100 million more people you can go after. So you can reach people to get more purchases by opening it up. However, I know some people really want to run only Instagram ads, so we're gonna do that here for this video because that's what I titled it and I wanna be truthful here. So Instagram, and then we are just looking at Instagram options here. Go ahead and hit more. There's nothing here that we really need to worry about unless you really wanted to block somebody or block certain words or anything. Go ahead and hit new, and then this is gonna be new arrivals, and we'll just say new arrivals 13. We'll do the ad preview, okay? We'll have the Facebook name, everything like that, single images, okay? Now you can choose multiple images from inside of the account. I'm just gonna pick random ones, so these could all be, okay? We're only gonna do 3 by 2 by 2, so 3 images, 2 headlines, 2 primary text, and you can honestly do probably 4 depending on your budget. We used to honestly suggest 10, and then it just, after since iOS in 2021, it's just completely changed. So, okay, I need to add the destination, so I'm gonna go to bitbranding.co. Just put in that URL. Errors have been resolved. Primary text, same thing here. So this is the text that shows above your ad for the most part, and also below it if you're actually on Instagram. Shop our latest news titles. They'll give you some options here with some variations. So it's pretty cool with the AI type stuff. Then you can do headlines. Buy now to get the best deal. Call to action button. We want to do shop now. I've actually seen Learn More do really well too. All right, your URL parameters. Wanted to use a triple whale UTM tracking if you do not have that. There is a link in the description down below. If you do use triple whale, you get some kind of deal from us. I think it's like 15% off or so. But anyway, it's the server-side tracking I was talking to you about, and I'll show that here in a second. This will actually show your products, but this shows the reels, this shows the stories, this shows the reels. So we want to make sure the website events are on. That's your pixel. App events, if you have like a comment sold, I'll put in there as well. And then offline events, kind of going away. You can click it if you'd like. But yeah, you no longer need to select a domain for your web events. Let's go ahead and scroll through. Don't need to worry about the browser add-ons. All right, so once you get there, you will have the option, like I said, for the 3 pieces of creative. We have single images that we're doing there. Multi-advertiser ads, increase your ads exposure to people in the shopping mindset. So basically it's gonna be showing on other people's content as ads or alongside the ads from multiple businesses. You can do that if you'd like. You can also choose music if you'd like. The recommendations, we have tested them. Some of them have done well, some of them have not. Completely up to you on that. This is the setup. Like I said, the main thing here is, do we have multiple texts? We have 2 primary texts, 2 headlines, and what this does is it creates multiple variations of ads inside of one ad set. Instead of creating one ad set and then 3 ads, it's just one ad set, one ad, and then variations of it, so it allows you to reach more people with the best combination. So what's the best headline and best copy that matches with the best image or video? Now let's look and see what this actually looks like since it's been launched and how you scale this. So we have one campaign inside of here that's DCT, broad new arrivals, that I already had here. Then we had trending, so again, they have trending, new, pre-order. Pre-order's been shut off at that point because it's no longer pre-order. But anyway, we've got trending, new arrivals. Like I said, it's literally exactly what we talked about. Same exact setup. So this is what it looks like. Multiple placements, multiple variations. There is not a manual code to add or anything. It's just some features inside of Facebook. No app events. Everything's set up the same. Now, one thing I mentioned was, okay, how do we find the winners? And then what do we do with the winners from there? For this particular brand, they are spending a good chunk of money to drive traffic to the site, and it's not necessarily about selling the individual product as much as it is to drive actual traffic. So we are going to go to the breakdown tool, image or video. Until you really get into the next level of scaling, I would say, okay, most people will take this post ID and then putting it into a separate campaign to actually scale. What we have seen do better, and this is updated here, is keep the same DCT or dynamic creative testing and then upload or re-change out images, so the campaign will learn and the ad set will learn, and then the ads will be updated. So we can update these results, and you can see here we've had 500 purchases this month. And then which ones are actually generating the most amount of sales? Well, these ones are new as of today. Okay, we got it set up as a 1-day click here versus a 1-day click or view. This one has 22 purchases. It's no longer available. Okay, we cannot scale it because this is a boutique. Now, if you are a streetwear brand, you could continue to upload these if you'd like by doing a separate ad set. However, you could also take the post IDs, and you're like, okay, how do I take the post ID? You would take the post ID and scale that, and then you would move it into something else, which I'll show you here in a second. Post ID, very simple to get. Go ahead and go to Facebook post with comments. Right, and then I would go over to the Advantage Plus, create sales, continue, Advantage Plus. All right, so once you get to the Advantage Plus campaign, all you need to do is you can hit on change post, find the one with the social proof or the date that was released. So these are all like newer ones. You can find the one with social proof, but then you click that, hit continue, and it's gonna pull up the social proof. It's still gonna pull in the best variations, what already worked, the copy, the headline, everything. I wouldn't change anything else, and you can go ahead and hit publish. Now, one other thing you wanna make sure that you do is leave everything else the same, because it's just taking the best winning post ID. Will it do better than the DCT? Probably not, but it's about reaching more people and actually scaling it up. One other thing that I would want to make sure that you do as well is just double check, triple check that every single one of the settings inside of Advantage Plus is exactly the way that you want it. Meaning if you actually go over here, naming convention is the same, you're going for website, maximum number of conversions, purchase, everything else looks the same, budget, etc. So whenever you go over and you get to the Advantage Plus campaign, now I would suggest you do not need to do this yet, because Advantage Plus is the AI side of Facebook, even more so, and it takes more data or more budget to make this work. So doing this until you get a couple hundred, $300, $400, $500 a day, or you've been running ads for 6+ months or more of like good data, I would not worry about this. I would go back to the DCT part of things that we were saying and we were talking about, and then focus on that, because that type of thing is going to get you to where you're spending $1,000 a day or more and generating true actual results. Now, I did mention earlier, let's go into Triple Whale and I'll show you the actual numbers real quickly. Okay, so we're over inside of Triple Whale, like I said, so this is month to date, 138,000, 21,000 in spend, 6.93 on the blended return. For every dollar we spend, we made 6.93, almost $7 in return. You go over to Ads Manager. This is specifically linear, which means it gives a percentage of the actual purchases from Facebook. So Facebook believes we're at a 5, Triple Whale believes we're actually at a 3, meaning somebody saw an ad and there's a percentage of revenue that was actually generated from Facebook for this. As you scale, this number will change. But anyway, we got about 571 purchases, $64,000 in conversion value. Our new customer acquisition is $70. On the Facebook specific side, it's actually much lower than that. And again, I'll spend $1 to make almost $7 in return. I just wanted to show you guys the real numbers here because Facebook is lying to you. And anybody who shows you videos online who only show Facebook is not showing you the full picture. Okay, now you know how to build out winning Instagram ads. It's time to build and scale your business to 7 figures or more. Go watch this video on exactly how to do that right here next. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. And P.S., please make sure you subscribe.